Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Wake Up Report. Been sitting here over the past few days, watching the news like everybody else, and so much happens so fast. Jesse Williams gives his speech, says he threatens to restructure the function of the police department. Two guys get shot, and all chaos breaks loose. Probably the biggest of the chaos being Micah Xavier Johnson ambushing 5 police officers in Dallas, Texas, killing 5 of them and wounding other people as well, before finally being taken out by the cops. Hey, Mr. Johnson, how'd that robot bomb work out for you?
Goodbye, bitch.
Anyway, I was trying to figure out what angle I could possibly go in on this bonehead for committing such a cowardly and ridiculous act. And I get a phone call from a friend of mine who takes exception to a lot of the things I say on my show and has expressed his desire to take me on, I guess, and prove to me that what I do, in his opinion, is what he calls cooning to white women. You know, it's like with black people now. It's like, there's this thing going around now, I guess, where if you're black and you don't agree with black think, I call it how black people are normally supposed to think. You know, you're labeled a coon now. So in other words, if you have an opinion that pretty much faults black people for the stuff they do when it's their fault, you're a coon. So he calls me and he leaves the message. And after I listen to the message, I ask him if I can replay the message on the show so all of you could hear what he relayed to me. And he said he didn't have a problem with it. So I'm going to let you hear right now the message that he left to me in regards to Micah Xavier Johnson and what he did in Dallas, Texas.
We got to talk about this shit online. And I'm going to tell you, this guy, Micah Xavier Johnson, the sniper guy, that's Nat Turner right there. That's what I call revolutionary, some revolutionary shit. That's revolution. Let me tell you something. I bet you now, and it may not last forever, but I bet you now, law is going to say, this is just too much shit that we got to deal with, shooting up niggas. You people have to get control of this shit. We got to address this shit. There's going to be some talking heads. People going to be saying whatever they say. The Negroes will come out of the woodwork to apologize for this shit. But at the end of the day, he made a fucking statement, and he didn't rap it, he didn't sing it, he's just there. And he's a reservist, an Army reservist, no criminal record, not a thug, totally above board. Damn, this nigga's like Nat Turner, man. I know you probably don't approve, but I'm telling you, that fucking is revolution. That's revolutionary. All right? So let's watch what all the Negroes do now. He's had more impact than the whole Black Lives Matter movement combined. All these white folks going to do is use him to try and shut down the Black Lives Matter movement. But I'm telling you, that brother is a revolutionary. Yes, later.
After I listened to that message, I was like, there's my angle. There is where I can go with this, because there are a lot of black men who I'm going to say probably feel the same way. They probably rejoiced at the fact that this man took out these white cops. The orgasms that they receive after he took out those cops are probably more intense than any orgasms that they have ever experienced with a woman. So with great glee and orgasmic satisfaction, they were able to just be all giddy with excitement over the fact that a black man stood up to the system, that a black man put the system on notice, put white people on notice. This black man didn't take it, and this black man should be looked at as a revolutionary, as somebody that black people should be able to follow, and we gonna make him a martyr, and we gonna this and that and all that bullshit. Let me tell you what this man was. Well, let me tell you what he was not. He was not a revolutionary. This man was a coward. This man was a turncoat. This man was a traitor. This man was a disgrace to the United States Army. This man was a disgrace to the United States military. Every black man that truly had a reason to revolt, who went through World War II, World War I, Vietnam, men who really faced discrimination, men who really faced insurmountable odds, men who had to fight for this country at the same time they were discriminated against, and then had to come back here and were discriminated against even worse. This bonehead disgraced every black man that came before him, that sacrificed for him to be able to sit up in his suburban home with his flat screen TVs and his cars and all the freedoms that he enjoyed as a member of the armed forces who paid for his house, paid for his cars, who paid for his flat screen TVs. The fact that he's in a country that allows him to, if he doesn't agree with something, voice his opinion in a productive way, in a positive way, in a way that would have longer lasting positive impacts than what he did. You went and you murdered police officers because you didn't like the way somebody got shot or somebody got killed. One of them didn't deserve it. The other one deserved it. Whether you like it or not, Sterling deserved what he got. Castile did not. And we'll definitely get into that. But this man has disgraced all that has come before him. And you have the nerve to liken this clown to Nat Turner and the slave revolution that Nat Turner led. You weren't pissed off because of what happened in Baton Rouge, what happened in Minnesota. You're pissed off because you were a screw up. The Army dishonorably discharged you for whatever reasons because you were a screw up. Your girlfriend or your wife, whomever it was, left you because you were a screw up. Whatever was going on in your life that had nothing to do with those police officers gave you the opportunity to use that as an excuse because you were a screw up. Not to mention the fact that you are a 90s baby. So why am I not surprised? All of these black militant, nation building, power to the people, the white man is evil, Harambe, Umbala, we got soul power, all of those types of individuals, they always expound their pro-black, anti-white, anti-cop, anti-race rhetoric from the safety and confines and freedoms of the United States. They never leave the country. They never give up their citizenship. They never do the things that a true revolutionary would do. If you feel that the United States is this evil and this wicked and this racist, why don't you leave? Why don't you go? You can do what I did. You do a DNA test. You find out what part of Africa that you're from, and you go home if you don't like it here. So that ways, all of the African garb that you wear, the fists in the air and the dashikis and whatever it is that you associate with black power and black militants and black aggression and black revolution, go home and nation build at home. You're not going to do it because you will find out very quickly once you get out of this country how great this country is, how much freedom you enjoy, freedom that allows you to speak out against racism, speak out against crooked cops, if they are in fact crooked cops. It allows you the ability to do something about it, like run for political office, start some type of movement, like show up at the voting booth. There's so much that you could have done, so much that a lot of you out there can do, but you choose to stay here and talk all this trash about black militancy. Oh yeah, and Griff, because he was taking pictures with you. Okay, Mr. PE, Mr. Fight the Power. Now, hey, my friend was good enough to bring that point up. I had thought about it. You made a career out of Fight the Power and shut him down. But the first thing you do is you distance yourself from this guy when they come to you. He took a photograph. He sought you out because he bought into what you were saying. And then when the true stuff jumps off, you're quicker to distance yourself from him than most. That's why most of you black men are a sham. You know, I talk a lot about niggas on the show. Talk about the dumbass niggas and niggas this and niggas that. But at least they're being true to what they are. They're being niggas. But you guys, you're the biggest hypocrites that I could possibly think of. Nobody leaves to do anything. You stay here and you make money off of the anger and fear and frustration off of other black people when it comes to stuff like this. Nat Turner was a revolutionary because he was being brutalized. His people were being brutalized and exploited and mistreated. They had nothing. They didn't own anything. They could not go as they pleased. They could not do as they pleased. They could be exploited, raped, and abused at any time. Where was this man abused? Where was this man exploited and mistreated and raped and brutalized and couldn't come and go as he pleased? Couldn't buy what he want. Couldn't get what he want. Why could you take that high-powered rifle and all those handguns? And why could you stake out drug dealers in the black community? Why could you stake out black gangbangers? Why could you stake out black men that lure 9-year-old boys into the alley and execute them? Why could you execute black men and go after black men who kill 9-year-old girls while they're sitting in their houses doing homework? Why can't you go after them with all this anger and frustration the way you go after white cops that you think are committing such heinous crimes against black people? Why don't you accept the fact that if you really wanted to lead a revolution, you start with your own people? Start where you live. But wait a minute. Really know where to lead a revolution in the suburbs, huh? Because you live in plush. You live in the life. You really got nothing to complain about. But why don't you start with our people? Why don't you start with all this black on black violence? Why don't you start with all these black criminals? If you think that black people are being exploited and mistreated so bad. Because I'm quite sure you find out if you did your homework, sir. We're the cause of our own misfortune. 9 times out of 10. The police are the end result of having to have to deal with us. But this is just coon talk, I guess, for a lot of you, huh? Yeah, you know, better a live coon, I guess, than a dead fake revolutionary. This is KTM in the Wake Up Report, saying think a little bit. It will do wonders for you.